So from the point of view of the mainstream financial sector, most of the real-world impacts of the investments that we are doing are invisible. They are invisible not because they don't exist, but because we don't measure them and we don't report on them. This invisibility is what creates the disconnect between the financial sector and the real-world impacts on the economy and thus society at large. And as we all know, only what gets measured gets managed. We all agree that the financial sector plays a crucial role in enabling the transition towards a more sustainable future. The availability and quality of sustainability data have improved significantly in recent years, thanks to the efforts of standard-setting organizations, of rating agencies and data providers. However, there are still gaps and inconsistencies in the data that need to be addressed. The lack of standardized and comparable sustainability data poses several challenges for the financial sector. First, it makes it difficult for investors to assess the sustainability performance of companies and assets, which can lead to mispricings, misallocations, and underestimation of risks. Second, it hinders the development of sustainable finance products and markets. Sustainable finance products such as green bonds or sustainability-linked loans or impact investing funds require credible and transparent sustainability data to demonstrate their sustainability credentials and attract investors. The third point is that without reliable sustainability data from the investee companies, it is very difficult to write quality investment or impact reports in order to communicate on the impacts of the investments. And fourth, it limits the ability of policymakers and regulators to monitor and steer the financial sector towards sustainability. Without reliable sustainability data, it is difficult for regulators to assess the sustainability risks of financial institutions and to design effective policy frameworks that promote sustainable finance. Now, regulators in the European Union are trying to tackle these challenges with the development of the sustainable finance taxonomy in order to define what sustainable economic activities really are. Then the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, the CSRD, in order to establish a common set of rules for sustainability reporting by companies. And in addition to that, the Sustainable Finance Disclosure Regulation, the SFDR, in order to standardize and increase the transparency of sustainability disclosures across the financial industry specifically. These regulations will help to make visible what has been invisible so far and for too long, and create a new market practice based on increasing transparency. The impact investment community has included impact measurement and management practices as well as impact reporting for decades. It has mostly been voluntary and not very harmonized. With the new sustainable finance regulations, we are now moving from a nice to have to a fundamental. In addition, with harmonized rules to follow, we can start to really scale the sustainable investments, which is crucial for the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as to create a net zero economy at the latest by 2050. And through the increasing issuance of sovereign sustainable bonds, even the governments now have to learn to abide by new rules when they issue debt on the financial markets. Luxembourg issued a sovereign sustainability bond in 2020, for example, and it was the first time we ourselves had to set impact indicators, we had to measure the impact, and we had to regularly report on the impact. We also did this for biodiversity and ecosystem projects that we were financing, which was completely new for all of us at the Treasury or the Ministry of Finance. As policymakers, as investors, as well as consumers, we have a role to play in promoting transparency, standardization and comparability of sustainability data. And by doing so, we can accelerate the shift towards a more sustainable and inclusive economy. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to the following presentations and discussions by my colleagues.